I'm having a little technical difficulty here this morning. I just want to make sure that the mic is on. If I can get a sound check, please. Great. Okay, I am coming through. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading room. All right, here let's just do a quick little overview. I like the daily chart for that. We take a look here. You can see the market very, very strong the last few days. A little bit of an off day there, but for the most part, the buyers looking as though they are in control. Today, we're really just taking over from where we left off. And we'll see how the day plays out, but you know, a move back down here to retest the support. I don't think we're going to get all the way down here. Those pin bars tend to be pretty indicative of strong support or resistance. So I think the support at that zone very, very strong. But I could see a retest of 7,100 over the next few days, maybe into early next week. And that will really put the test on the buyers to see whether or not they can control the trend for the near future. Yesterday's session, relatively quiet, a lot of back and forth trading. And today, well, kind of more of the same, isn't it? The overnight, very wishy-washy and relatively quiet as well. Not that much going on. For those of you who like your first in-sync eagle signal, there it is right there, off of the opening buzzer. And a quick little move back down here toward the bottom end of this trading range. As usual, though, I am not all that keen on trying to get in too early here. We'll give them a few minutes, see if we get anything resembling a trend developing. All right, a bit of a pushback now off of the low, the morning low. All right, well, what time is it? Do I dare try this number 3 signal that we have developing? Oh dear, I'm going to wait too long. It's going to run away on me. All right, let's take a look at this number 3 signal. Move back down here to the lows. The signal actually printing right there off of this hard edge. I guess what I'll do is I will look to take it below the low of this bar here. That's going to be my second push entry opportunity. Okay, maybe they weren't quite ready yet. Okay, here we go. We're coming back. A little bit of a bounce off of the median line. That's that gold line that you see from the support and resistance suite. If this bar finishes lower, it should also bring our Bollingers back into sync. All right. So there now, my follow-up order, I'm looking to short below this level here, and I may actually extend my profit target down to the primary support zone. Stops a little on the cozy side, but we'll see if we can't get some bearish follow through now that we've broken these lows. The trend does seem to be lower. Well, you know what? I may try to run this one out a little further. And all I'm doing is I'm setting my profit order a little bit deeper. That's going to give me the opportunity to roll my stops a little bit more. What I'm anticipating is, because it's very early in the day, is lately we've been seeing big moves out of the open. So maybe we'll get a little bit more follow through. I hope. Now I don't recommend this, but I'm going to roll my stop back a little bit to the proper stop placement. I would very much like to see a swing here. There we go. There's one bar. There's a couple of bars. Come on, just head a little bit lower still. Then that would give me two swings right here. That would allow me to roll my stops in at that point. As I've mentioned many times before, I'm sure, I very much hate getting tagged early. right, at this point, I think I can probably bring my stops in a little bit more. And I'm going to shoot a trend line across the top here as well, kind of act as a guide for my stops. Well, it looks like the market honoring that trend line reasonably well. Come on, you guys. You know you want to. Here, we'll turn the chart trader on. We're trickling lower. Oh, goodness, just when you think. We're going to see a little bit of a move. Paul asking, what's your take on quad witching tomorrow? For those of you unfamiliar with the term, you'll hear occasionally triple witching and quad witching. What that means is there's a whole lot of stuff expiring on the same day. You got options, you got futures, you got single stock futures, and so on. It usually makes a real mess of the day, Frank, or I'm sorry, Paul. And it can be difficult trading because of all the expirations, people rolling contracts and whatnot. Good day to do our rabbit hole Friday on. Trying to adjust my trend line here unsuccessfully. There we go. All right, I'm going to hold my stop here by the hard edge. We've broken the trend line, so we do need to see the sellers push back. One bar does not count. We need to have at least a couple of bars in our favor. And I know I'm managing this trade relatively tight. For somebody who's trying to swing out a pretty big move, my stops really should be back here. That's the better place for them. They're making me debate leaving my stop back here now. You see, because what's going to happen is the market's going to test these little swing areas. It's not unusual for the market to recover the first swing. It is a little more unusual to see the market recover two swings, which is why I elected to put my stop back here. Frank says there's a pivot point at 72.73. Ooh, looks like they grabbed that one almost right on the number. So back into the hard edge again, and when the market encounters the hard edge, we anticipate some sort of reaction. Hopefully, in this case, a bearish one. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, those darn quarter to the hour trays. Why can I not leave those things alone? Oh, oh well. I should just sit on my hands for opening range. All right, let's put that away. Okay, we're still kind of in this whole sideways range that was established this morning, but it almost seems as though they might be trying to get a little more bullish. I say that with some trepidation. It's just that, hey, they didn't want to head lower, so chances are they may want to head higher. that, like I said, the larger sideways trading range, if you incorporate the overnight. And much of yesterday, really. You can see we have this really sideways moving market. And as is very often the case in a sideways moving market, it's not a bad idea to look for buying support at the lows, selling resistance at the highs. It really is a bit of a no man's land. No woman's land, too. Words of wisdom here from Ray. Actually, good advice. Ray says, I only trade starting at 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm only waiting for one trade for $100. When the market goes sideways all day, like the other last 2 days, I did not take a trade. This approach is working well. I've only taken 23 trades this year. I only lost on 2 trades, which is when I violated one of my rules. Opening range, I've shared with you guys before in the room that if it wasn't for you guys here, I would not start trading until 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. Opening range can be very funny, not the haha funny. Yes, there are some days where the market will just bolt out of the open, and looking back, you can say, oh, why didn't I trade opening range? Look at all the money I could have made. But it's a very conflicted time. The market really not sure of itself during opening range. Well, you're welcome, Ray. Ray says I learned that from you, Eric. Thank you very much. You're most welcome. Mark says that's an awesome and great strategy. I would agree. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The real money is not made in trading more. You're not trading more often, I should say. It's made in trading larger size. So when you have the consistency and you can consistently nail that $100 trade, well, then it's just a matter of adding size to your position. And even if you're just taking $100, just $100, there's approximately 200 trading days in the year. That's about $20,000 to your account. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Mark, you're right. Mark says that's a good track record too. To have 21 out of 23 trades being winners, I'd like to see Portfolio Manager stack up next to that one. But they have, of course, a whole lot of different pressures. They feel that they have to perform, and candidly, some of my worst days in the trading room have been, I kind of had that at the back of them as well, because here we are in the trading room. You guys are taking time out of your day to join me here, and so I feel like I should show you something. And when I do, it's not always the best trade I'm showing you. Patience is key, though, and I know those of you who are doing well with your trading will agree with that comment. As Jesse Livermore was quoted to say, the money is made in the sitting and the waiting, not in the trading. Oh, yeah, good question. Mark's asking Ray, what is the trade you're waiting for? I think, Ray, you're watching the hawk, if I remember right. That is your tool of choice. Well, we are stuck in the muck here today. Not much going on. All right, well, here we go back now toward the bottom end of the trading range. What's with that? Are we going to see a breakout? The clouds here on the Raptor now in sync. The Falcon actually did give us an early signal back here. I wasn't paying attention. That actually in sync with the Bollingers and everything. A nice follow through on that particular signal, which happened to coincide with the number 2 signal. We're getting a number 1 signal, like I say, on the Raptor. I might consider a second push opportunity. We'll see what comes of this. As we're back down now here near the lows, I could, if you considered your sideways trading range like this, we're kind of getting the market in a bit of a bind now. You could put your just in case order to sell below here. Just in case the bottom falls out of the market, you have an order ready for it. Now it sort of resembles a breakout trade, and I suppose in a way it is. Here's an interesting observation from Ray. Ray says, I ran trade performance on the Ninja 8. It told a real good story, meaning I do much better taking long trades than short trades. I had a fellow say that to me a couple of years back when we were talking about the stock indices in general. And I was telling him about counter trend trades and how they're always so tempting because counter trend trades, when they work, there's usually, they're very exciting. They go from A to B very quickly. There's not a whole lot of hesitation on the part of the market, and they can be very profitable. And he said to me, Eric, what is the market's trend for the last couple of decades? And his point was the market is trending up. Why are you shorting into an uptrending market? And of course, he was absolutely correct. And so it's interesting your comment that you tend to do better with long positions than short positions. That's very, very interesting. Because my friend would have concurred with your assessment. Okay, so I'll just manage this trade now from the Raptor. It's essentially, a second push on this number 1 signal. It's a just in case order on the Eagle breakout. I'm going to try to stretch it out a little bit, see if I can't make back some of that earlier loss. Stupid short position. Here we go. We got the break. Where's the follow through? Well, now the Bollinger's out of sync again, which would suggest that I need an opportunity to roll my stops in. I'm not going to be happy about a bounce back here off this low after we've breached it. Come on. Wow, we've only been trading for not even 45 minutes. It seems like we've been here for hours. Here we go. Come on. You know you want to. Well, if they push back off of the lows, then we know for sure the sellers are done. And even though I'm not much on reversing positions, I would likely consider a long. Well, they're inching lower. Wow. You guys. Well, here comes the bullish pushback now. Essentially a bit of a double bottom forming. Yeah, Ray says yesterday's range was 423. Today so far it's 198, not even half. Also, the trend indicator says scalp mode for 98 minutes. So, yeah, it's definitely a chop environment. A lot of back and forth. Normally, in that type of environment, you should be running a tighter profit target and a looser stop. You should be taking profit when it presents itself. But really, where's the fun in that? Oh, Eric. All right, so what I'm looking for now is a bear bar, or ideally two. Okay, there's one. I'm going to roll my stops up a little bit now. The market's not cooperating after this breakout. It should have had some follow through. It did not. Like I said, I'm not keen on reversal trades, but I might consider one in this case. All right, so there we go. There's just no clear trend today. Simple as that. We are getting a bullish push. We are getting a trend change here in the Falcon. We've already had the first micro macro cross fire in the Hawk over here. Like I say, I don't typically do this. I'm not typically the kind of guy who likes to do reversal trades, but I will consider it here. I've tried now a couple of instances to take the market short unsuccessfully. This now a little bit of a second push on this trend change signal here in the Falcon, and looking to see whether or not we get any follow through now off of what seems to be a fairly solid level of support. I should point out too that there are days where the market just will not cooperate. There are days where you're going to look at your trading and you're going to say, what is going on here? I can't buy a trade. All right, here we go. All right, we're getting a little bit of giddy up. Come on. It was looking so promising there for a moment. I can't even get the market to get to my high probability profit target. It's like I say, it's crazy today. Come on, let's go. My goodness. There we go. All right, I'm going to take this opportunity now to take the trade to break even. Hopefully that's not going to be too early. Wow, look at that. trying to hold the median line's trying to hold it up here. Ray says he also uses the ADX indicator, which today has been a roller coaster. Said I might not find a trade today, but at least I'm up for the week. Good man. That's the name of the game right there. Nope. No love from the market today. Well, tried the long side, tried the short side. They're not very interested in going either way. I guess we'll stay with it a few minutes longer, but honestly, if they don't start behaving themselves, we may just close up shop early. Yeah, we're continuing now in the sideways drift. You know what, folks? Paul, I was going to say we may just close up shop here early because honestly, I can't see anything happening here today. It's really, really constipated. Paul saying, I've been trying your ultimate RSI and I like what it does with cutlers. Cutlers, for those of you unfamiliar, there's various calculations of the RSI, cutlers being one of them. And he says, but I've removed everything else and only have the RSI and the markers. Well, that's great. Like I always say, the key is you got to find, um, what's working for you. It's not a matter of tweaking your system until you never ever have another losing trade because that's just not realistic. All right, gang. I think we're going to close up here for today. The market's not really looking like it wants to do too much. It's still stuck in this sideways trading range. If anything, it looks as though we are going to get a little bit more bullish at this point. All right. So if you are going to hang out and trade the rest of the session here, I think you will do better on the long side. But really, it's a tough day today. The market's not doing a whole heck of a lot. All right. I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.